Hey, what's up everyone, it's Rob Stark and I'm here today to bring you a video on how to counter Piper. Alright, so real quick, let's just go over some important stats for Piper. So you want to know her reload speed, which is 3 seconds, and her maximum damage at the furthest point, which at level 1 is going to be 500, and at maximum level is going to be 575. Now you can try and figure out what her maximum damage is throughout the battle, or you can just assume that's going to be 575. It's probably safer to assume that until you actually know. Okay, and then I'm going to give my most important tip for how to counter Piper right away. One of the most important things when the enemy team has a Piper is if your health is ever below that maximum damage point that I was talking about for one shot, which you can assume it's just 575, you really want to try and heal up before getting in her line of sight again. That means stop shooting and try and heal up. And this is very, very important, because if you can make it so she can't one-shot you, it makes it a lot harder for her to kill you. And a lot harder for you to die from her in general. Now obviously there are situations where you might want to risk going out even if you are below that health point. For instance, maybe you can get a quick kill or an important kill, or important for the objective. There are definitely a couple different situations, but in general, that's one of the most things I see people do wrong when playing against Piper, is they just keep shooting. Maybe they're like 550, 520, and you're thinking, oh, that's a decent amount of health. But versus Piper, you really got to make sure you're above the maximum damage point. If you can make it so she can't one-shot you, it makes it a lot harder for her to kill you. Alright, and then in terms of avoiding her shots, and you may have heard this before, but you really want to try and go from side to side when you're against Piper. When you're running towards her, running away from her, and it's sort of like very small zigzags. And this is really going to try and make it so she's missing her shots. As a Piper, she sort of has to lead her shot at least a little bit. It is a very fast shot, but she does have to lead it some. And especially because of this, you don't want to run in a straight line, as that makes it much easier for you to hit. And if you do find yourself 1 versus a Piper and you're not able to escape, you can try running towards her. This will make her shots do less damage, but do still try and follow the tips I was talking about earlier for dodging, going side to side. And especially if you're like a medium or small range unit and you're trying to advance up the map, try and keep a wall between you and Piper. And even if it's just one wall, this is going to make it a lot harder for Piper to hit you, as it really cuts down on the angles she has to hit you, and you can sort of know where her shots might come from. And especially if you plan on approaching her, try and count her shots. And I wouldn't really recommend doing this with other brawlers, but since Piper really has that slow reload speed, counting her shots can really give you that edge. If she shoots twice in a row and she misses both, she has has one shot, or she has none. And you can try and move up, and if she does get that one shot off, well, she's only going to have one shot, and then she might have another after a couple seconds. So one thing you can try and do is, if you're at the edge near cover, try popping in and out of cover. This especially works sometimes. They'll try and shoot you, and then you can come back in. And it really does work just because she has that slow reload speed. Okay, and then in terms of all brawlers have the same movement speed, except for Mortis and Crow. Mortis and Crow move about 12% faster than other brawlers. And if you think about it, a target that moves faster is going to be harder to hit. So Mortis and Crow are a little harder for Piper to hit in general. And especially with Crow's super, and especially with Mortis's dash. And Mortis is probably the closest thing to a hard counter for Piper. That higher movement speed combined with his dash really makes him hard for Piper to hit, besides like predicting where he might go. And that can happen some in like smash and grab, for instance, when a Mortis is trying to grab gems. But otherwise, it's kind of hard to do. And if you're a Mortis, it's going to take you either 4 dashes or 3 dashes and your super to kill her. But one thing to be wary about when attacking her is when she has her super. If she does have her super, she's almost always going to super away as soon as you start attacking her. So make sure you have at least 1 dash to be able to run away from her super. Or, yeah, just run away from her super. And then her grenades tend to spawn at random, so it's going to be hard to kind of predict. In general, you just kind of want to go away from it. And then if you're a Mortis, oftentimes it's going to be your job to distract or kill enemy Pipers if the other team has one. Alright, and if you're a Bull or a Primo, you want to be aware that if you're able to get her within your range, she's probably just going to super away. So you want to try and either catch her without her super, or just know that try not to be too aggressive, as she's going to super as soon as you start attacking her. And if you're Anita and you want to throw your bear at her, try and wait until she doesn't have her super, because otherwise you're going to throw your bear at her and she's going to super away and not only get away from you and the bear, and she's going to almost kill the bear. And also, if you're a Jessie, try and place your turret in a spot that's hard for the Piper to shoot, which is pretty much going to be behind a wall in most cases, because otherwise she's going to be able to just 2 or 3 shot it fairly easily. Alright guys, that's all my tips on how to counter Piper. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.